Namaskaram. I am Narayanan Komarath and I have the great honor of introducing Dr. Srinivasan Kalyanaraman, uh, who is today's speaker. He is a pioneer and a founding director of the World Association of Vedic Studies. His list of awards, etc., is too numerous for me to list. You can look it up. Our social studies textbooks mentioned Mohenjodaro and Harappa, unearthed in 1925. All else in civilization was supposed to have come from the West. All our Vedas and Puranas were said to be mythology, the study of myths. My mother taught me that at the Triveni Sangam in Prayagraj, Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati came together, Saraswati being underground. This was also called dismissed as myth. Much worse, we were not allowed access to the so-called mainstream archaeology and history archival journals about our own history, which were dominated by people from Harvard and Oxford and, sad to say, India's top universities. Today we know better, far better. This was the DharmaYuddham, the Mahishasura Mardanam, for which Sarasvati Bhagavathi empowered Srinivasan Kalyanaraman. By her blessings, Sri Kalyanaraman, already well versed in the Puranam, studied economics, accounting, not archaeology or history. He only claims to be well versed in Tamil, Samskrtam, Kannada, Telugu, and Hindi and English, but his works show that he knows much more about many other languages. I learned from him that his excellent work for Indian Railways early was what led him to be sent for higher education with their blessings, culminating in a PhD in public administration under understanding people and societies. Again, Sarasvati Bhagavathi saw to it that he rose to the top of the Asian Development Bank, headquartered in Manila, the Philippines. At the Manila Museum, he saw there artifacts of Filipino civilization, which he realized were the same as those from the Indus Civilization. Same all over Asia. He helped projects in 29 Asian nations, of course, in the role of a chief accountant. So he knew that this is all common. And today it is known that even Australian natives have the same DNA as Bharatiyas. So after the Pokhran nuclear test in 1974, American spy satellites looking for signs above ground instead found the trace of the Saraswati River, exactly where expected from our Puranas. Experts drilled down into the groundwater and found from radioactive decay, I believe of tritium, that the water was thousands of years old. Not recent rain runoff or glacier melt or anything, thousands of years old. Over 10,000 years, Saraswati had woken again. Cut to 2025, 100 years after the Mohenjodaro discovery, 78 years after independence, at a school science fair in Thrissur, Karanam, I saw Indus Valley seals. These were 3D printed, made by 11th grade students. They were the first time I'd seen these. They were the size of a Parle Gluco biscuit. We all know what that is. So I asked, hey, what were these used for? You can't eat them or they would have disappeared as fast as a Parle Gluco. And they're not money or they would have been stolen. So what good were these? They said, we don't know. The textbook doesn't say that. Our teachers didn't tell us that. But the young lady standing next to them with a completely different exhibit, nothing to do with them, was absolutely bursting with excitement. So I asked her what was going on. She said, those are accounting seals, trade accounting, to identify consignments and provide all kinds of information. They were for commerce. Dr. Kalyanaraman will be happy to know that there are excellent teachers and parents and most of all outstanding students who have seen his work. So there is hope for us. Kalyanaraman saw what everyone had seen, and he realized what no one else had realized. This is the true essence of research. Since 1974, with help from ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, the riverbed has been mapped, thousands of sites have been located, some 12,000 artifacts are being catalogued. It was a trading center, the hinterland, extending far to the east and south. Manufacturing was not all done there, it was from very far away. And therefore civilization must have been much older, 10,000 years, 20,000 years. And there wasn't any paper or written language at that time. So looking for a magic cipher to break the Indus script code, etc., like a Rosetta Stone giving the same thing in three different languages, this may not be so simple. These people were sophisticated. Okay, they didn't wear a suit, coat, suit, boot, whatever. They wore sensible clothes for the Indian Ocean region climate. But they were sophisticated. How did they communicate? Dr. Kalyanaraman wrote long ago that the code is ourselves. Don't look around. I mean, don't look anywhere else. Don't look at ourselves. It's in our DNA. It's all around us, in the sounds that we use to describe objects. We are seeing only their trade communications, remember. A continuity of trade from Japan to Europe through pictures representing sounds, unique identifiers. Let me try an example of what he calls the rebus technique, or rebus, or whatever, however you say it. Suppose I want to communicate that my trade is carpentry. I'm a woodworker, carpenter. I might show a car, a pen, and a tree. People in my village who presumably, if they spoke English, and I did, they would know that means carpentry. Okay? If you go to a place where they call a car an automobile or an SUV, and they only use WhatsApp, so they have never seen a pencil or a pen, nor a tree, well, but that doesn't matter. It means carpentry in the language used by the originator. Think about that. How does one figure all this out? No magic. Just incredibly painstaking studies, experimentation, testing hypotheses, creating huge lexicons covering all languages, understanding traditions with empathy for our ancestors, the subjects. If there are any AI experts out there, please look at this. This is the classic problem for AI machine language to make a contribution. The book that he is introducing today is the latest in a long line. I have another one here. It's all pictures. It doesn't waste space on words. It takes concentration, persistence. That is what he's been studying since he retired from ADB in 1995 and started the Sarasvati Research Center promoting the Indian Ocean community and the National Water Grid for India in Chennai. This is what WAVES was set up to study, because the founders of WAVES, including mathematicians, business people, scholars in various disciplines, all realized that something truly world-changing, history-changing had happened. The first two papers in WAVES 1996, which came out in the Proceedings in 1998, were from the late Dr. Brajesh Lal, Director of the Archaeological Society of India, and from Dr. Kalyanaraman. You should read both for starters. They should be mandatory reading in 10th grade, besides all colleges in Bharatam. He has also taken leadership in many causes, including being president of the Rameshwaram Ramasetu Protection Movement. He has served as an inspiring supporter and leader for many, many people, including myself, and he has made the difference, the crucial difference in many urgent campaigns, many of which we cannot talk about, like Operation Sindoor. We don't want to give away all our secrets. But as a member of what is called the Vanara Sena, let me welcome you on behalf of all of us. Dr. Kalyanaraman is here and he will speak in person after the presentation. The presentation is pre-recorded to ensure quality against connectivity glitches, so it becomes archival. But we know how long it takes, so we will ask him to speak a bit more at the end. Thank you, and Vande Mataram.